I stretched my back and tossed my backpack over my shoulder. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of World End Economica. My name is Fuds, and let's see what Haru's doing, shall we? Since today was Sunday and my trading houses were closed, it was an important day for me, so I could just go out and walk around. It also appeared that the culprit from the theft was arrested, so the odds of being mistakenly arrested and taken home had diminished. It was just as Lisa suspected. The culprit was a young man who also run away from home, leaving home without any means, turning into a life of crime, and causing trouble for others. This guy was clearly the typical idiot. It's possible that he wasn't also from Earth, but born and raised on the moon. As someone born and raised on the moon myself, I could sympathise. For people on Earth, it seemed lower gravity was to blame for making many people light-headed. Aside from issues of pride, many could live in the collected scraps left over from the geniuses and prodigies of Newton City, who had amassed great fortunes. Some would say it was the fault of his sense of security, perhaps. Compared to the people who came to the moon from Earth, we were in groups of tourists, so who also came here from a great sense of purpose. We came to the moon to do something or another. It could be that it came to Earth to find tranquil life I couldn't find back on Earth. Likewise, I might have come to find a thrilling life that couldn't be found back on Earth. After all, I understood that one must step forward when one had purposes at hand. Anyway, the cost of taking the orbital elevator by any legal means was staggering. There were many hurdles to clear if you were to look for any discounts or exemptions. In any case, there were many Earth dogs who knew what road came from. They were there, and what they should be doing. Literally, this was the Earth at the bottom of their shoes. That was why I hated those Earth dogs. I tied my shoes and left for the hallway. The place was eerily quiet. Lisa had headed out to a restaurant after eating breakfast. I knew Hagana was still here, but outside of going to a toilet, she would seclude herself in a room. They couldn't even hear a peep coming from there. I had no idea what she was doing in there, but I got every vibes. That's why everything I owned in my backpack. I wouldn't be surprised if Hagana took a hammer to my piece and destroyed it while I was out. I did not continue walking down the corridor towards the living room. Instead, I went up the stairs to a second floor. The church was in a low-income area, but much like everything else around, it was built up when parts of a crater had been partially zoned, so navigating the sector was a bit complex. The entrance to the sector was along a relatively wide street, but the second and third floor portions seemed to be clinging to cliffs as they stretched upwards. According to Lisa, these places weren't very well off financially. The faded parts of buildings here and there around the church were obvious. It appears neither small or expensive. Ascending the narrow steps when you come into tombs, it looked like a small yard in which you could see a sky park. As they were both on a slant, the rooms themselves were small. One room was apparently Lisa's. There was a white painted chair, a table, a small garden. If you were to ascend the stairs to another level, you came to what looked like a ladder. What functionally as a handrail was actually Lisa, who used to carry back a basket of laundry. There was a room, or rather a storage shed, on the third floor, and past that you could reach a site near the roof. The door was wooden. There was a note on it, a handwritten note from Lisa saying, "Always lock the door when leaving." I was sure people had locked me out many times. I, of course, would be returning through a front entrance, and with that I headed out. The moon was in the middle of a 2-week-long afternoon, and the light was permeated with the dome over Lunar City during this time felt really good. Today I could see Earth from my usual place. You see, I'd had somewhat of an extravagant feel to it, with a large tree growing very close to a cliff behind it. I wondered if the placement of a table and chair was so Lisa and Hagana could enjoy the shade of a tree. The cliffs all around the place felt a feeling of isolation. It was a nice place. Right now, there was only the noise of a laundry machine, and it was clear to whom what belonged to whom. Looking over a jumble of streets out to a section, you could see someone on a roof casually reading something on a computer terminal, or someone repairing a roof. You could see bakeries with a dry cleaner, buildings spewing out water vapour, misshapen chimneys, and homes under construction. However, my objective wasn't to survey that area. It'd be nice to scale the cliff on the back and roam around the plateau above, but I'd probably end up on someone else's property and call the cops on me. I moved nimbly between the houses from a park, and having found a continuation of a path towards the top of the plateau, I broke into a run as I left the park. What was before me was what I'd seen from my park. before we were buildings in Newton City, pointing in the direction of Earth. I left for 6th Outer Section's business district and got into a rather boringly named lunar development train. It was literally a train from time to time, but the train service was being developed, and the station's starting point terminus was a diorama of individual spacesuits doing work in the lunar desert. No matter how much you could visit it virtually on the net, tourists still flocked to the diorama, as if showing some difference or gratitude as they took pictures of it. Once, someone had a bright idea of making this incision in it to accommodate a box, so tourists would mistake it for a donation box. Supposedly it was filled to a brim with coins. However, what that guy failed to realise was that after only a few hours, foolish tourists would have filled a box with donations. Then when complained to a station attendant they couldn't pay any more in. Thus, the plan was foiled. After that, capitalising my idiot's bright idea, the station attendants installed a large unmarked box in red to collect more change from tourists. This is a classic example of a moment of carelessness topping even good get-rich scheme. There wasn't a lot of living space on the moon, so the lunar development train almost seemed to apologise as it shrank down and sped through the city. The train passed alongside a chaotic mishmash of buildings. For a brief moment, it was possible to look out of a window to see the lives of people inside. But tourists took great amusement in seeing their own country's culturally stylised buildings and lifestyles. Of course, there are no cultural aspects I particularly saw that amused me at all. The moon was made up of a hodgepodge of immigrants, and on top of that, it was a place where people who couldn't shake off Earth's gravity gathered. So the colouring was too pale. That's why one could say that the line performed very well. Even those from my hometown, who had hoped to accomplish something, would resolutely look coldly at this. It was the moon, after all, not Earth. As we passed each station, the landscape changed accordingly. From a chaotic atmosphere to orderly streets, both stateless nature of the place became more evident. Buildings both straight and with elegant curves that did not exist in the natural world, multiplied as perfectly. Trimmed trees and drew a number. We'd entered the White Belt. There are many advertisements within the train directed at a typical salaryman, with information for insurance and families. Again, the ground gradually lowered and the train slowly separated from it. The beautiful cityscape unfolded below, and we're soon travelling at a height equal to that of a 10-storey building. No matter how beautiful a building was, there would still be provocations to many complexities of life as one would expect. Everywhere you looked, the green parks could be seen. One could look down on large canals. In contrast, far in the distance, one could see the chaotic town of Red Valley. I was impressed that one dare come up with names like White Belt and Red Valley. As I thought about that, the train suddenly picked up a burst of speed. Along the streets below, all it could be seen were residential and commercial buildings, like a district of coal buildings. Now to reach the height of 12 to 20 stories, we stopped being able to see the tops of buildings passing by. Beyond the glass windows, one could see the busy salarymen and electronic billboards started to flood the view. Before long, as if the train went right into a thick forest, we were covered in shadows and vision was greatly reduced for a moment. The train continued to navigate through groups of nearby buildings going around them, but suddenly my vision cleared up again. This was a large plaza before the Newton City Central Station. The vastness of a gigantic atrium would amaze not only travellers from Earth, but even those raised on the moon. At 162 metres above the ground, nanowires held up a massive clock and hologram screen right in midair. The train continued along the side of the large plaza and was eventually swallowed up by the terminal station. It, like Lunar City, could be considered a gathering of the highest levels of wealth for honour of mankind. Jazzy music. I like this look. This street. Got a very futuristic vibe to it. I don't think it's just because of these things down here. I got off a train and counted a number of advertisements that came into view. There were three from nanotech companies, 4 from major software corporations, 2 from biotech firms, and 2 from insurance companies, and 6 from banks. There were 5 from investment banks. Each and every one of them was famous for their rate of earning and prideful for their proceeds, where they were tasked with sweetening up proceeds and wealth of Earth and pumping it into its lunar city. Listing the world's companies in order, of market cap, within the top 100 companies, 37 of them were on the moon. It's more than one would find in London or New York. The number of companies abandoning the Earth and setting up their main offices were great. And the number that wanted to strike it big were even greater. New Frontiers gathered up the brightest of folks, and we see that as long as you had a talented mind and a net connection, you could come out on top. The moon was different from the Earth, where everything in the eye could be seen and developed into a long history, and old geezers wielded immense power sitting high upon their thrones. Some random countries couldn't monopolise power here, and because of the nuclear crisis, countries everywhere shied away from a bomb. Thus, the moon was literally an empty place with no external annoyances. Even placing second or third in a race to come here would be more than enough for someone to become a key figure in the city. Where their footprints were no longer displayed along with we always seen from Quincy Memorial Hall, I doubt they stood on the forefront of humanity. For example, there was a bronze bust in front of the central entrance of the central city. The model of this serious-faced statue seems to look down on pedestrians was E.J. Rothberg, who people said would simply end up as an excellent banker if he stayed on Earth. Right now, he's the CEO of a top-class investment bank here on the moon. At nearly 29, he got involved in investment in the lunar development train. In those days, he worked vigorously in lunar development, which few people regarded with as much interest, as he gambled upon mankind's career and everything he had. That got the ball rolling. On Earth, stories were told about how he built the city from nothing, where many key figures would say very few people understood what it really meant, just like the road of wave as well, they said. I supported those statements, and even though everyone knew how they approached it was less than ideal. At any rate, even though my parents came to the moon at the same time as E.J. Rothberg, it was evident the difference in income levels. They worked at levelling the rock to put soil for growing and harvesting of crops. Was that not just a job from Trinity years before? And on that note, it would have been easier if I'd just done that back on Earth. That's why I made sure to remind myself of this sometimes by coming all this way out to Newton City by train. Particularly, it was a place of those little training or education would oftentimes find a big break in the city. We left the station heading in the opposite direction of the plaza. Right before your eyes, there was a path on the right hand side of a towering building with lunar government. Amongst the many glass-filled buildings in Newton City, there are many that were built using materials from dark rock. Because of that, they looked plain at first glance. But in my opinion, it was something that gives off an intimidating air, something unequally powerful and gravitational pull, but it's financially district, where banks and investment banks were set up a shop. Pointing to a street was a simple sign that said Schrödinger Street. You don't know if it's there or not. And there next to it was a bronze statue of a small cat. The cat had a slight expression in its eyes. It lay sprawled on one foot on a single gold plate, engraved with gold plate was this: you can't know the outcome until you open the box. Fair enough. Well, and that's a cute statue actually. I thought it was the most appropriate for a financial district. Although I hadn't succumbed to any religious beliefs here on the moon, I saw nothing wrong with petting the cat for good luck. Put the cat on its head, ran my finger along the outline of a gold plate. You can't know the outcome until you open the box. I came here for the sake of telling me these words. There were many people who went from being mere errand runners to becoming the masters of the giant buildings that line these streets. I literally came to recharge my spirits here. Schrödinger Street on the weekend was pretty much filled with tourists like me. There were only a few taxis running around, not to mention a total lack of black luxury cars. You could see busy looking people in suits, but the security guards in front of 5 metres front entrances buildings were yawning out of boredom. There was a hot dog stand along the road. It was so famous that people were ranging from hotshot bankers and traders making $1 million a month to $6 an hour mailmen would all congregate to eat there. Oh, it was great being able to get your dog 10 seconds after ordering and eat it with one hand. People would go to a burger joint to eat a meal were considered second rate, and people who would go buy box lunches were just laughing stocks. First, being caught in the flow of walking along the street, I bought a hot dog. Working in a day off. And it said something along the lines of placing a fat sausage in a bun. I didn't even think about replying along the lines of, don't treat me like a fool, at least have a stable income. Being treated as one of the regulars here filled me with joy. To me, making money was a means of not an end. However, after thinking long and hard about it, the fastest way to get rich had to be here. When I had to come to that decision, I felt a great reverence for people at the head of the pack here. And with that, I realised that I actually did have a bit of fanboyism in me. So I thanked the guy, paid my respects to the people passing by, and walked off more fidgetly than usual. The main office of E.J. Rockberg, with top tier investment banks like Haru and Palatina Smith, not far behind, established a massive building here. Let's just look at that picture at the moment. You got a clear kid with a scarf and a hot dog. Lots of financial guys. A tourist, and I think the less said about this guy, better. In order to make the most efficient use of space, Newton City was divided into 3 levels. There were the underground level, the above ground level, and the sky level. I was currently with sky level, but the main entrances for all buildings were here. Below was the related companies and rented out offices space. The underground and above level portions of the buildings of Schrödinger Street were filled with countless funds and consulting agencies. Whilst walking around and eating my hot dog, I would occasionally come across a narrow and compact building with gilded signs and atriums adorned with chandeliers and paintings. These weren't places where money exchanged hands, but rather places where those with enormous sums of money obtained their official legal guarantees. Top-class law firms, accounting firms and government outlets resided here. After walking a bit, I arrived at an intersection. In front of me was a strangely shaped edifice that reminded me of a Colosseum in Rome. The entrance was dozens of floors above pavement, with stairs leading up to it formed its own plaza. It was such a special place that it was allowed to use up with so much space. Occupying the intersection between Schrödinger Street and Bit Street, which is made up of software and media companies, the Lunar United Stock Exchange could be called the city's source of wealth. It's a place where stocks and all companies around the world, not just on the moon, were traded. It was the pride of the world. Combined with various future markets, trillions of malls exchange hands every day. A lot of tourists and lots of people crowded around a standard bronze statue at the entrance, taking pictures. You could say this is a pinnacle of capitalism and humanity's expansion. The entrance was wedged between giant screens displaying market information 24 hours a day. Currently airing was a discussion between the vice manager of a Lunar Central Bank and the famous CEO of Platina Smith on relaxation of regulations. Both of them were in their mid-40s and could be considered quite young by Earth standards on the moon. Someone in their mid-40s would be considered elderly, although these were two still full of confidence and energy. I leaned against the giant steps of the stock exchange and ate the rest of my hot dog slowly. Everything here was big, vast and solid. Being a little brat, not even worth a scrap of tissue, buying a hot dog was the most I could do here. However, I used my computer in my bag to make money, and eventually become one of my major players here. That wasn't much more than the first step in achieving my dream, but attaching specific milestones to my goal made me think of how rash it was. However, there were many people who managed to pull it off in the past, thus there shouldn't be any reason why I couldn't do it. I wouldn't be able to understand without looking into the eyes wide open. The CEO of Platina Smith was talking on the screen had a yearly salary of 37 million moors, being the highest amongst all major enterprises in Schrödinger Street. Normal people would be quite satisfied in making with 2 million moors over their lifetime, so no one disagreed that his salary was monstrous. However, many people had made at least 1 billion moors a year working in these offices. The hotshots who made salaries definitely had their teeth into them. That made tons of money, using their expertise and behaved almost like lone wolves. These were people locked up to intimidation, since they had neither real educational background nor a financial backer. My ambitions had still not been fulfilled, so I could only watch them here, but eventually I would stand shoulder to shoulder with them, either as rivals or comrades, instead of looking at them from a distance. They're unmistakable billionaires, holding on to a majority of the wealth in this world. Money. Just money. The objective of my unbearable desires circulate here like a whirlpool. I squashed a hot dog wrapper and stood up impatiently. Time to head back and look at more money-giving trees. I'd eventually become somebody who would be acknowledged here. And then, after that, I was on a train. I fixed my hold on my bag while staring at the giant panoply of Newton City's recent receding buildings. And lots of flashes. And a fade to black. Ooh. Wait, was that just reopening? Oh, they scratched the surface of this game. As expected, visiting Newton City would replenish my reserves, feeling worn down after a week of trading. That opening really worn down my reserves as well. What is this? Episode 6, I think? Episode 5, 6 or 7? One of those two. And Brody's got the intro music. How big is this game? Well, I'm here to find out. I've got episodes 2 and 3 on my Steam account as well, so got plenty more to go. Well, thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.